of the successful war against critical race theory in K through 12 schools, a war that was, by the way, so successful that the Republicans literally could have done nothing, and yet critical race theory would have never been taught in K through 12 schools. Even after that victory, Republican Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick, is now actually going after the real thing. Because, of course, on Tuesday, the Lieutenant Governor said that, quote, "we will ban the teaching of critical race theory in public universities in the state." So he said, "I will not stand by and let the looney Marxist UT professors poison the minds of young students with critical race theory. We banned it in publicly funded K through 12, and we will ban it in publicly funded higher ed. That's why we created the Liberty Institute at UT." Wow. Now, look, here's the thing. Are you ready for a little bit of irony? Because the story's full of it. In 2021, Dan Patrick launched something, it's basically a think tank, called the Liberty Institute. Now, that is described as being, quote, "dedicated to the study and teaching of individual liberty, limited government, private enterprise, and free markets." Limited government, liberty. Yes, that's exactly what this sounds like. Yeah, we love liberty. Except when you actually want to teach college students about racism. Can't have that. Now, Patrick was reacting to a resolution passed by UT faculty on Monday. So now the faculty is like, "Oh, you're going to come over, you're going to come after education? Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pass a resolution saying that educators, not politicians, should make decisions about course curricula." That resolution passed overwhelmingly, 41-5. And it says, in part, "This resolution affirms the fundamental rights of faculty to academic freedom in its broadest sense, inclusive of research and teaching of race and gender theory." Weird. It's almost like to them, freedom only exists to right-wingers. Especially when it comes to the culture wars. Real freedom. Wow, real freedom is actually, according to Republicans, making homophobic remarks and saying the N-word without any sort of, repercussions for it. Honestly, that's what a lot of them want. You know it. And now that they've banned teaching racism, or actually just Black American history from K through 12, now they're coming after college students. Because how dare they learn things later in life that will then basically counteract the propaganda and bullshit that we've been feeding you throughout K through 12. It really is amazing. I mean, you can combine this with the book burnings, or book bannings, I should say. Yes, some books are literally being burnt, but you've got the book bannings going on in Katy, Texas. You've got all this stuff going on, not just in Texas, but all over the country. It's almost as if they're trying to hide information from you. They don't want you to actually learn about things that happened. And by the way, they're using a very well-funded, shady organization in order to do this. In fact, the Texas Tribune had put out a report last month saying that, quote, "legislators have already approved initial funding for the Liberty Institute, putting about $6 million into the 2022-2023 state budget without giving any details of the project's aim." University officials have also committed $6 million towards the project. And of course, you have other gigantic GOP funders, Republican conservative funders as well, giving money towards this. All involved have been vague or silent about their plans when asked by faculty and student groups about what they're going to do. And they've repeatedly denied interview requests from the Texas Tribune about the project's intent, budget, and who was involved. Yes, because that is definitely seems like something that is fully transparent and for good reasons. Oh, of course, yes. Not at all designed to push an agenda through the use of lies, omissions, and the heavy hand of big government. The thing that they're supposed to hate. I mean, I guess government is only too big when it tries to stop corporations from screwing us over. But when it comes to the state literally trying to ban education in a college setting, which, by the way, college students get student loans, they pay for it. They're paying for this education. And yes, there is taxpayer funding of this education as well, but they're trying to ban it and prevent you from learning certain things. This whole thing is ridiculous. Once again, a great example, a fine example of political correctness. This is PC. That's what it is. Republicans, you have to understand that party, they're the party of censorship and the party of political correctness. Learning about critical race theory, it may be factually correct, because all that stuff, again, it's basically the study, and it's a college level course where you learn about the impacts that slavery and racism have and have on our current government today and have had throughout history. And it is that comprehensive analysis of those effects. But they don't want you to learn that. They don't want you to learn that. Yes, that may be actually correct, but it's not politically correct. No, what's politically correct is to say that racism never happened and that the United States has always been wonderful and excellent to black people. And the slaves, they were happy to be slaves. Yeah, yes, because they came over here and they found Christianity. Absolutely ridiculous. This is just, again, big government, in the case of the Texas government, forcing political correctness on schools.